We are live, man. Welcome in.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing today, man? That was a banger of a show and a banger of a freaking main event. We'll talk about it. How about you, Daniel?
After banger.
Hey, let's get into it.
Okay. No more prayers when the God dies. What the future holds with my palms high. Left in my hands and make it alright like woo. Yeah. Never let it know your dreams. Put it into a dark regime. Transform the score machine. I ain't had no pocket pissing. Now I'm frying competition. Burn my way to top position. Scared he fuck out the kitchen. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. Let me cook. Let me cook. Let him cook. I'm frying competition.
Yeet.
Yeet. How y'all doing, fellas? Did y'all enjoy that show?
That was good.
I've seen better.
I've seen better, but it wasn't bad.
Look, I'm gonna say this: the main event. If every match was like the main event, it would have been probably the show of the year because that main event was a solid 4.5 to 5 out of 5 stars, man. That was a fantastic match.
Yeah, but it ended the way you knew it was going to.
Look, sometimes the ride's better than getting to the destination. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
I guess.
I mean, to be honest with you, for me, the whole card was really good. One of the coolest things for me was seeing the strap match again. I'm an old-fashioned, old-school wrestling fan, and the strap match was a really awesome banger too. They had all the matches were really on the edge of your seats. We unfortunately didn't have any. Oh no, we did have a title change, and we'll talk about that. But Daniel, what was your thoughts on that final match?
Final match? I wanted Randy Orton to win. I just figured, why not keep it interesting the way they took Drew McIntyre's title away from him right away at home? Why not do it there too?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Drag that on a little further.
I mean, not only you talking McIntyre, but bro, even Damian Priest.
Yeah.
You took the title off Priest really quick.
Yeah.
And, bro, I wouldn't have been opposed if they would have had him lose in Berlin just as a character building.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. My first initial thought was, Cody isn't that great anymore, bro, when he's starting off the PLE with his title match. Like, when your champion is kicking off your pay-per-view, that's
But you know what I think it was though? The fact that they don't have a lot of drama or storyline behind that fight to make that a main event. You get what I'm saying? The storylines that they had were a lot stronger and bigger to go for that. They were friends, bro. Those are friends fighting. That's a sparring match, basically.
Hey, happy 420, gentlemen.
Oh, it's 320 at my house.
Okay, well, hold that thought for an hour.
Well, for me, that match was, and I even discussed it halfway through the match. I posted in the group chat of ours, that there was a really great match, and it was. But, it seemed like from that point to the ending, the whole match kind of deflated. When you see Kevin Owens, whether he's in a match versus an opponent, that's just an opponent or an opponent that's an enemy, at one point in the match, you really see him flip and do his little, and you never really saw that resurgence in the match tonight because he hesitated on numerous occasions.
He even had the respect enough
to do that.
He even had the respect enough to not go for the knee, and he could have.
Oh,
he could have ended. He could have easily won this match, but he didn't want it.
Well, and I'm seeing people talk about, he'll be a champion one day. Like, I don't know how I feel right now knowing that.
My wife's real stoked right now because Texas looks like shit so far.
I even mentioned it to you, BucDad. Like, I feel Cody Rhodes, I'm losing it a little bit for Cody. He needs to, this next storyline he gets into, he's really got to step his game up a little bit and revive what's going on because he's losing traction.
It took this for him to lose you?
No.
I was about to say, bro.
He's been losing me.
So I like Cody. Yes, I was along with Cody for the ride. But I'll say this again, and I've said it numerous times. Cody's better chasing that title than he is as a champion.
Yes, I agree. I think
he's got more 4 to 6
weeks. For the last 4 to 6 weeks is when I've seen week in and week out, I've been like, and I'm like, okay, with this match, the way they went into this match and the way they went into it with the friendship thing, and it's cool to have respect, but the respect is I'm going to kick your ass and go 110% until the bell rings, and then afterwards we can shake hands.
He did tell him that. He said, hey, remember you wanted this.
He didn't do that though. That's the point, and that's what deflated that match, in my opinion, was that perspective. And you even mentioned weeks ago that this was a bad championship match. You did, BucDad. I remember.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be bad.
There's no, especially when you got 2 faces going for it. Yeah, I get it. You could have made it work. And it was, if I had to grade it out of 5 stars, 2.5, 3, being nice.
Yeah.
This had the potential to be a banger, bro.
Oh, without a doubt.
And you could have still made it. They could have still made it a banger as friends.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree too. Like I said, it was a friends match, so that's why I feel it didn't deserve the attention that the others did, which kind of looks bad for Cody too, because he's coming out and defending his title on the first match on a pay-per-view. Like,
and to be honest with you,
getting at with it.
Like, well, to be honest with you, the first match, the second match of the night felt like the first match, and the first match felt like the second match.
Yeah.
If you were booking matches, that's how I would book those matches based on that result. Like, that first match was a mid match. Period.
Super stoked that Jade and Bianca got the fucking titles back, because the way they lost it was what shouldn't have been like that. They lost it without getting pinned.
Yeah, well, they lost it in your typical triple threat rules.
But still, triple threat rules are ridiculous when it comes to the title things like that.
You're going at with it.
Well, to be honest with you, that wasn't a real defeat, and that victory today actually bona fides that solidifies that statement that
which is why I said I'm
a real defeat, but we just lost the titles.
What really put everything is because they're still going to throw that rematch clause out there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So they'll get one more shot. What if they win it back?
Look, at this point of the PLE, I was 0 for 2. I was mad because I called.
I give them the best out of 3. I give them best out of 3 because they'll get a shot. Give them a 3, and whoever wins the third one, obviously is the better one.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
You know what I mean? They lost it. Now they had a chance to beat it, rightfully take their belts back. Now they get the rematch. If Isla, what's her name?
Isla Dawn and Alba
right.
Fire.
If they fucking win again, then they fight one more time. Tiebreaker.
Hear me out.
The trilogy.
The unholy trinity, okay? Right? Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, right? Bad blood. does all three of those things not go together and collaborate for a rematch for the titles in some kick-ass match? At Bad
Let me
Blood?
kick ass. I mean,
Huh?
we'll be straight up. The match, yes, sounds great. Kick ass match. I don't know how many kick ass match. I don't think they'll put on a kick ass match.
It'd be nice.
The women's division with the tag team is cool. Like I like it.
It's brand new, which is,
But no, it's
you
not.
know,
I don't want to hear bro. It's coming up on a 5-year mark.
the tag team.
The tag team division.
Well, it's been weak for a long time.
Like the WWE Women's Tag Team division's coming up on I do believe it's 5 years of since the championship was created. Because I do believe this was one of the pandemic, like right before the pandemic or right after we hit pandemic.
I want to say towards the end. It might have been in the middle sometimes, but yeah, near that pandemic time, I can agree with that.
But when you have this, the division, bro, was to begin with. It was thrown together with a bunch of singles competitors and a couple tag teams. I mean, hell, bro, who was the first women's tag team champions?
My point was the division
Shit, I
now
don't
in the
even know.
last year is where you're really starting to see the competition. You know, it's a baby.
To find the way, if you really want to get the women's tag team champions, you'd have to go back. The first women's tag team champion, you have to go back to the Glow.
Well, I mean that's true, but at the same time,
Go
the
look
first
up
WWE,
Glow,
I
bro.
would say the
They
Bella
had their own
Twins.
shit.
The Bella Twins? No, that was after the Bella Twins.
Nope, it was the Boston Hug Connection. February 17, 2019. Elimination Chamber, Houston, Texas.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then it was the Iconics,
Yeah.
Alexa and Nikki. So yeah, this is early 2019. So
About 5 years.
This is pre-pandemic. We're coming up on that 5-year mark. Or we're at that 5-year mark, and it's like the division needs to become better, in my opinion.
I agree.
Oh,
I believe the competition's there.
They're getting there. Yeah, I mean, you got Jade and Bianca as your tag champions, which is dope. But they're eventually going to have to lose them again.
I hear you. Get it out. Oh, it's my call sign.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
But you gotta have other tag teams, bro, besides what you got.
Yeah.
Or you need to get all of, like, more of them involved. I feel like you're really getting just SmackDown.
I kind of agree with that.
So to me, maybe it's switch up who you're going. Like maybe you switch up the brand that's getting to go after the fucking title, or you just do a whole ass fucking like 6 women deal. But you gotta, I don't know, man. You gotta do something because eventually, I need Bianca and Jade to be without the titles.
I agree because I actually want to see them do their thing singly. I want to see Jade step off on her own.
Well, like this, right? Like if you're watching the post show for WWE, you got Damien and Rhea. I'm hoping that this mixed tag with them really just is minimal. It was great to see them get the win, but I don't need to see them like that all the time.
Yeah, especially with the hesitation between male and female, and the way it messes up the chemistry of a match.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you think like Damien was just a world champion, Rhea was just a world champion. Now you like, are they really gonna succumb to go into a fucking 1-on-1? Like they're going into a tag team, mixed tag shit. Like, is that what they're going to?
Well, you know, to not step in the bounds of that match a little bit, until we can get to it, and to go off of what you're saying, I'm on board with having those occasional matches. As
Yeah.
far as the mixed tags, I like them with the right storyline. This was a perfect. This was almost the kind of a storyline you could not have a mixed tag match.
No, and I agree. This was perfect.
But I believe, like I to go back and reinforce what I meant when I said earlier that this division, as far as the women's tag team, is at a point now where it's time to elevate, and really start to see a good group of tag teams that are consistently and longevity wise together. You're not single, and there's plenty of talent in the talent pool. You've got girls that don't necessarily have a fit in NXT that ain't making the TV show right now because of things like that you can bring them up and tag team them up with other stars to be able to put something together. Because in times like this, when you've got a tag team, sometimes that's a hell of a lot easier for a young person to develop as opposed to being on their own, and having the spotlight just solely shining on them so they can even develop better in that case. So, but I don't know how they got to work that recipe, but I agree with you and totally
So
back that statement.
what is an ideal timeline for them to defend their titles?
Who?
Anyone, any title defense.
Like nowadays, it's at least once per PL. It's at least once a PLE at minimum. That's the standard. If you want to, you stretch out. Used to, bro, you'd see it like every couple of weeks. There was a tag team. There was a championship on TV. On regular cable, there was a championship. Now they typically reserve that for PLEs and special circumstances. But most of the time, you want to say every PLE you're seeing a championship defended or around that time frame.
Well, I mean,
I just feel like they should defend it, man. Not hold on to it for so long.
Well, I mean,
I don't mean like not hold on to it for so long, but defend it a little more. You know what I'm saying? Not just 3 times a year.
Are you talking like what you got going on with your men's tag team champions right now?
Why not every fucking month or every 2 months you put your title up and go for a shot? Give people a shot.
I agree.
Like a round robin type thing. You get everybody to go through and get a shot.
As an example, with Nia Jax, her title wasn't on the line tonight because she actually defended it last night in the main event, and that was a banger of a match too, by the way. But I'm with you. There's certain things like you. Yeah, you go to the Logan Paul situation where Logan Paul defended the title, 3 times in 6 months, or longer. So that was
okay. So there's that. I don't know what happened with losing him.
My bad, bro. If I seem preoccupied, I am. I'm sorry.
No. But yeah, we lost Derek somehow.
Hang on real quick. Back up! Shut up!
I do believe his phone may have died.
Just Derek
But here's my thing, though. Oh, there we go.
Well,
Where's he at? Where's he? Is he back? Is he back?
I'm here.
Okay. But yeah, I'm
Somebody
trying to get
pulled my
these
card.
13 tattoos
Somebody
run
pulled my
up.
card. I had to shut up for a minute.
So, like you were saying,
Thank you, sir. I'll get back. Let me see.
What was I saying? Kind of threw me off. What were we talking about?
we're talking about, I do believe it was the Bear Twins.
Hey, shut up!
Oh, the
Sorry
women's
again.
tag team and division. Yeah. I believe they're at a point where we really need to see them step up and become a more solidified division.
Okay. Again, what we were talking about was going on with the elevating into the defending titles.
Oh, yeah. The titles. Yes. Elevating the titles. Yes. Having them, I think it's a disrespect to any title if you go more than a PLE without defending them. And having them as a part of the mainstay focus of the show. That,
I just
everybody. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Like, go ahead and finish.
Well, for me, we saw 3 title matches, but how many titles do they have in WWE? You've got the 2 championships, men and women. All right. And granted, one of the women's was involved in one of the matches, so I'm okay with that. In the circumstances that they had their match, I'm okay with the title actually not being a part of it. But you've got the men's tag, the women's tag, you've got the Intercontinental title, you've got the U.S. title. The U.S. title and the Intercontinental title was neither one defended. And I don't know if Travel had a little
defended last night.
Well, yeah, there you go. You're right. Yeah, it got defended last night, and that was the same scenario with like Nia Jax. But if you're not having the titles up for grabs often, as you see a new fan with Daniel, coming in being a fresh fan, re-energizing his fanship, so to speak. In the wrestling industry, it's deflating, to not see those titles defended.
Right. I mean, it's like, bro, we used to see title matches like nonstop. I grew up watching Dusty Rhodes and them fight and Macho Man, and these dudes would come out and they fight for the fucking every time they were out there, they were fighting for a title. Titles were changing that. That's why you had 17-time world champion, two-time world champion. You know what I'm saying? 15-time world champion. Come on, man.
Love it.
Well, that's something that was, we'll get into when we talk about Randy Orton and Gunther. But that's something you don't see.
You get what I'm saying? Because they're not defending the titles like that no more. I mean, they're not switching hands that much for them to try to go and get it back. Like they used to switch a title. Title used to switch 3 times in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like they would switch like that, and then it would hold a while. They'd go a while with somebody holding it, and then boom, again they go another 2 weeks where it just goes back and forth. I don't know. It's just I like it. I'm not saying I don't like the situation that's going on. It's what wrestling is. But yeah. I still remember what wrestling was. You get what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of what wrestling was, how about an old school stipulation match, like a strap match, to really almost culminate things with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre? Man, that was a really banger of a match. I really liked the way it was back and forth. Nobody really took a clear lead until CM Punk really took over, and then he'd go to sleep that dude, 5 times?
Bro, that was a hell of a match, man.
It was, dude.
The ending of it was great.
I agree.
I know 100%. A lot of people are not happy with CM Punk winning, but
I mean, the way they took it outside of the ring, the way they took it through tables, they had a legit regular match strapped to each other, and that in itself is a very hard thing to do.
Now this has it at one apiece.
Yeah.
It's where you get in that, you know, everybody wants the rivalry to be over, but you're gonna have that. Well, we both got to win a piece.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a Hell in a Cell match between these two.
I don't think I'd have a problem with that, to be honest with you. But I'll tell you, this match tonight was a really good pick me up for a middle show match. You know, for the middle of the show, that was the perfect match because it elevated my hype for the ending of the show. Because it brought me up, dude. Because it was not like the Bianca match, the tag team match, wasn't a bad match at all. It was a really good. It was short. It was shorter than I expected it to go. But it is what it is. But it was a good match. But that match right there was a really I mean, I'd probably give it a 4 to 4.5.
Yeah, I'll go with that because it wasn't a shitty match at all.
No, but it wasn't perfect. But it wasn't a shitty match. But they did a really good job in that match, and I like the way. And even look, again, I spoke and told you beforehand. I kind of felt like this was. You could almost end the rivalry right there. But like you're saying, if you're 1-1, you know, neither one of them is going to be happy with that. So, what do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, typically that's what it is. You got to give the people the fucking the opportunity to retort, bro. You know, man.
Yeah.
You heard me bark. Now hear me roar. You know, like if you were my second time, then hey, more power to you. I'm good with it.
Look. I kind of expected that response when I said what I said in chat, and I see your response, and I'm like, yeah, he's definitely on a Drew fanship right now.
I mean, it's not just because I met the dude, but I liked him before that. I like the fact that
I'm a fan of Drew McIntyre. I've been a fan of CM Punk for years.
Bro, I love the Claymore that he throws, bro. It's devastating. When he hits people with that, bro, you hear that shit.
Yes.
It's loud. That's a size 13 slapping the side of your face, bro. That's
Yeah, I'm going with it because this is one of those like I don't know if I want to see another one. I know we're gonna get another match, man, but
I wouldn't be opposed to another, a tiebreaker.
Oh, that's a good thought.
And real quick, guys, let me finish this little piece.
From what I understand, Seth is out for a little while, but
that's what I was hoping to hear tonight. In the middle of everything, knowing that a rib injury is usually 6 to 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? He's been out about a month, right?
About that. But
you know what I'm saying? Even if he didn't get involved, he could have came in and been a distraction for that match just for his presence, dog. If he would have showed up, can you imagine what that would have done for the crowd?
Do you realize, bro? Do you realize that he's already supposed to be out to take care of a previous injury? That's what him coming back, and the night that Bronson Reed attacked him, that's what it was. It was already leaked out that that's what it was supposed to be for. And then the whole rib injury happened with the internal, and it's like, oh, so you may have got more shit with it. So he could have a rib injury plus a back injury.
You know, and that's very true. But, you know, looking at it and knowing the business a little bit than the average person that just tunes in on USA and Fox, you know, sometimes if you take into consideration his wife just stepped away and then he's stepping away and the storylines is unsure at the back end, but there's, maybe there's something planned for them
Well,
to be going
he
through.
did just have a baby, didn't he?
Yeah. Dude, I even mentioned just for shits and giggles, they could be trying to have another baby. Who knows? But nonetheless, there's so many different reasons as to why, but you could also guarantee because of the history with Seth Rollins that a lot of this injury stuff is not just noise, because the guy has been putting his body through a proverbial table for over 10 years. The same thing as Roman Reigns and the same thing as Dean Ambrose when I told my wife 10 years ago that those three dudes would be running professional wrestling in the next 10 years. And those dudes have been literally physically from that aspect doing it. And it takes a toll on their body. So it's not just noise. I promise you that. But all in all, I could honestly see Becky and Seth both coming back. But are they through? Are they through with? Is he through with them? He ain't through with CM Punk. Nope.
I
Not a
could see
chance.
Oh, no.
I see him coming back, but not full time like they were.
I mean, what else do those two specifically have to prove in their careers?
Seth Rollins will make his comebacks. It'll be for like certain matches and stuff like that, but I don't think they need to keep going. I think the company at this point would be okay if Becky and Seth were to say, "Hey, we're not
gonna come back."
Yeah, like we had a good 10-year run. We're not going anywhere. We're not joining competition. Nothing like that. We're legit retiring.
Look, think about it as far as the NBA and the NFL and all these athletes that are cutting their careers short because they made a shitload of money and they might have got lucky and got a championship early on in the career, whether they played with it or not. And they're dipping out for those very same reasons, because at the end, after all this ends, whether you're a wrestler or anything, you have a life to live. And we spoke about this last night when we spoke about Sid Vicious and the difference between his life with wrestling and afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know if you necessarily consider wrestling in the same realm as your NBA, your NFL player. Because, yeah, you get a select few that may look up or idolize a football player, but they're normally a football player, right? Or wanted to be at one point. Wrestlers is a whole different vibe.
Okay, I see you.
What y'all think?
Looking
like
good.
That.
I'm liking them.
That's clean as fuck. Hey, let me get that bro. Hey, let me get that pot leaf.
You know what I'm saying?
Mijo.
I've got to get your
maybe you do a Brahma Bull with a joint.
Being I live in Texas, bro. Those are gonna be popular.
Hey, you ought to give us your business card and sponsor. We'll sponsor. You sponsor the show, and we'll sponsor your business.
We'll see what happens. I'll make it happen.
Get people flying. Get people flying through. Get people flying through, coming in, man. People like buying cars. Tattoos is like buying cars. People will travel to do that.
Hey, but hey, I'm gonna get with you guys later.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to y'all. Appreciate y'all having me. Yeah,
good to see you, Daniel. Hey, got to get up with me in the next few weeks. Got to get you on for the plunder.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
I'll be geared up. I'll be geared up, ready for the football, bro. You already know.
Absolutely.
Hey, I got a big watch party happening on week 1. I'm gonna have all the Bucs fans that normally go to David Buster's. They're gonna be at my house.
Right. Yeah. Hey, well, maybe we'll have you on the maybe we'll have you on the pre-show.
Yeah, call me, bro. I'll cast it, everything. See everybody.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right, man.
All right, so at this point, we only got one thing to talk about, man.
And that is
your main event of the evening.
I've been waiting.
You had a Viper try to take out a ring general, and it almost happened.
You know, to me, that was probably the best Randy Orton match I've seen in about 3 years. As far as, you know, his level of competition through it, even through those heavy bumps, because, I mean, to be fair, he didn't take many heavy bumps from Gunther. Gunther, as soon as he took out his arm, he killed that chop shit. He's like, nope, not today. Not today. Wasn't happening. And he continuously bumped on that arm. And, you know, we could talk about the legitimacy of it. Let me yank on your arm about 15 times, and I'm gonna ask you to chop
Oh, I was
anything.
gonna say, bro, you could see it right here, just right up at the top, bro. His shit was starting to kind of get.
Michael Cole even said it. It was literally in the moment bruising.
Yeah.
From him doing that and then throwing him into that ring steps twice. It was a lot of damage, and that immediately cut off that chop. And let me tell you, for a big guy like Gunther, if you know anything about heavyweights, and I'm a heavyweight fanatic, going back to the days of Hulk Hogan, who by stature was a heavyweight. You know, he was a big guy.
Well, yeah, steroids will do that to you.
Yeah, and so, like with big guys, power is your number one thing. And speaking of the big guy, he's actually on the podium doing his press conference right now, Gunther. And I'm a look, Randy Orton. Look, I would get the Viper logo tattooed on me. That's how big of a fan I am of Randy Orton's. I have been since day one. I love his whole persona. He's one of those that are like John Cena. They virtually almost kept their persona the same the whole career. And I was backing him, and I told you last night on our show that I struggled. I really wanted to pull for Randy Orton and predict him to win.
It was one of those, like, as a fan, you want to see Orton win.
Yeah.
We've watched Randy Orton grow up in that ring.
Oh, yes.
We've seen what he does. And
they gave him his flowers tonight and said he was the greatest professional wrestler with the greatest professional mind in the business.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, you look at that fucking little stat sheet they throw up on his way out.
He needed 2 pages.
14-time champion. What was it, like 8-time fucking tag team champion? You know, what's up, Eric? And you're right, bro. What a show. It was one of those, like, you just had to be there to appreciate it and enjoy it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. That was, again, I'm going to easily say that was a 4.5 match. Again, you could argue that it was a perfect match.
I think that was match of the night.
Oh, without a question, it was match of the night. The fact that there was no interference and Gunther actually took a face perspective as far as how he carried himself during the match. He basically says, I'm a bad guy and you can call me the villain, but I'm just going to straight up kick your ass. And that's even, look, you say what you want about Randy Orton. That's exactly what Gunther did. And I told you in the post game or the pre-show backstage, like, dude, it's going to be a while. This guy is really solid as a champion, and it's going to take a badass to take his title away from him.
I don't think it's going to be a while.
Who do you see taking it away from him?
Jey Uso.
You think they're going to put it on him before they give him another title? Another singles title? Mid-card title?
There's a part of me that says, yeah. I think Jay's getting over enough. Hunter's listening to the fans. Maybe the World Heavyweight title is something that you can put on Jey Uso, even if for a brief.
Well, if you do go back to our conversation last night about the Intercontinental Championship. We've got him, Pete Dunne going up. I've got him and Pete Dunne going up against Bronson Reed, and who else was it?
Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov. Yeah, that's what I picked. Ilya Dragunov. And I honestly, with the momentum this guy's got, I don't see nobody challenging Bronson Reed to get to that. And then you got to say Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. Hold on, I'm going to say that one more time. Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. Brain fart.
Did you just go to say it twice and fuck it up?
Yeah, well, look, brain
Braun
fart,
Breaker?
dude. Braun Breaker, yeah. There's too many B's in here, bro.
I know.
And they're very similar.
I heard you say, let me repeat that. And you said it again. I'm like, wait. I know you tried to fix it.
I did.
But did you really just say it like you're really repeating that bit? Like he said, let me repeat.
Think about it.
And
You got
repeated himself.
Bronson. You got Bronson, Braun, and then Braun. It's like, wow, that's a tongue twister right there. Holy cow! But nonetheless, you got the Bees challenging it out, man, and that's like those two. That's wow. But you say that, and then you think about Jey Uso in this circumstance. Where does that leave him? Because again, he can't keep losing these opportunities and keep that momentum. In my opinion, you got to act now, like we've discussed before. But I'm just not so sure. I mean, I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I think he would be a great champion.
Bro, you could take Bronson Reed out of that fatal 4-way and have Jey Uso win.
If Bronson Reed is not in there, I'm Jey Uso winning. I got Jey Uso winning if Bronson Reed's not in it. Straight up. But I don't know. Can you stun that?
I had Jey Uso winning the fatal 4-way and to go in that Intercontinental tournament.
Yeah.
But when you got Bronson Reed on there, bro, I don't know. I could easily see it being written as a story of, hey, I beat the fatal 4-way against Bronson Reed as well, and here I am, so I'm gonna take your ass out.
Right.
I feel they were foreshadowing, but I would love to see Jey Uso with big time gold.
Huh.
The Intercontinental title would be great. But I'd love to see like World Heavyweight Championship, even if it is for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And just to see how he holds up.
You know, where does this send Randy Orton? That's my question.
Back to SmackDown? He'll go and face, Cody Rhodes down the line. And he'll be the one to beat Cody Rhodes. And I could easily see it being something like, hey, for a couple months ago, I gave Kevin an opportunity because, we're friends, but you were off chasing Gunther. Now I want to give you a shot. And Orton easily being like, all right, but Kevin was just being a nice guy to show you that he was not a dick. When it comes to this title, it's all or nothing. Like, I could see Orton going heel against Cody for this.
That's an easy spot. That's like seeing a deer at 100 yards and the deer's deaf and blind.
Yeah.
Like Randy Orton can so easily become a heel against Cody Rhodes with their history. And he is a legend killer, and Cody's trying to form his legacy, to be a legend in this industry. And Look, it is not a far-fetched idea, and let me tell you what, the goosebumps are rising on the back of my neck just thinking about a Randy Orton heel turn, bro. And speaking of heel turn, I am going to plug this Friday. You need to tune in immediately following SmackDown, the premiere episode of Heel Turn, where Friday nights will never be the same.
Yes, sir. And hey, way to end the show for that.
Hey, it was a perfect time. And by the way, you can catch my guy over here, who is the head. If we get in any trouble, go looking for him first. He's in charge. Just remember that. But no, seriously, you can find him at Reel88. That's REELEIGHTY, the number 8. And you can also find me on all social platforms at The Plunder 2023. Man, it was a great PLE. I enjoyed the post show. I had a great show last night. And until this Thursday night, make sure to tune in for the last episode of the preseason, the first episode of the regular season. It's simultaneously going on because Thursday night is when it popped. No, actually Wednesday night, don't it? Don't it pop off on Wednesday, or is it Thursday?
It's Thursday, Friday.
Okay. Yes, Thursday, Friday, not Wednesday, Thursday. So yeah, Thursday night, the beginning of the NFL season. So make sure to tune into the Plunder, and you can follow me on the Plunder search, the Plunder EST23. Until then, we'll see you guys next week. Later.
Yes, sir.